All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into a real head-scratcher, a massive financial mystery that has had people arguing for years. Tesla's absolutely mind-boggling valuation. Okay, so let's just jump right in with the first piece of evidence. Take a look at the numbers from 2020. You've got a giant like Toyota, pumping out around 10 million vehicles, and then you have Tesla, making about 500,000. I mean, it's just a tiny fraction. And yet, get this, its valuation has, at times, soared past $1 trillion. That's more than pretty much all of its biggest competitors combined. By any normal yardstick, this just doesn't make sense, right? So, that's the big question, isn't it? If the numbers we usually look at don't add up, what on earth is really going on here? To solve this puzzle, we actually have to look beyond the spreadsheets and deep inside the human mind. Okay, so clue number one in this mystery is what I'm calling the great valuation disconnect. This is where all the traditional ways of measuring a company just seem to fall apart. I mean, just look at this chart. When you see how much actual revenue each of these companies generates for every single dollar of their market value, well, Tesla's bar is almost hilariously tiny. Traditional car companies are just cash-generating machines compared to Tesla on this metric. This is Exhibit A that something else is driving the price. And this quote really gets to the heart of the matter. It's this idea that the market isn't really pricing what Tesla is today, it's pricing what it could be tomorrow. People aren't buying a car company, they're buying a ticket to a potential future. And that brings us to our next major clue, which is the incredible, and I mean incredible, economic power of a good story. You could argue it's Tesla's most valuable asset. You know, there's actually a name for this whole phenomenon, narrative economics. It's a theory that says, hey, when it comes down to it, the viral stories that capture our imagination can be way more powerful in moving markets than any boring earnings report. And wow, is Tesla the poster child for this? So here's the bottom line. You've got Tesla spinning this grand tale of a tech revolution to literally save the world with clean energy and AI robots. And then you have the other guys. Their story? Well, it's more like, we made this year's car a little bit better than last year's. That difference in story, that's a billion-dollar gap right there. Okay, but a story is just words, right? How does a story become worth billions of dollars? Well, to figure that out, we have to dig into the psychology of it all. We need to investigate the mind of the investor. First up, you've got this idea of tribal investing. For a lot of people, owning Tesla stock isn't just about the money. It's part of who they are. It's a statement. It's like rooting for your favorite sports team. They become fiercely loyal, defending the stock like they're defending their own identity. And then, of course, you can't talk about Tesla without talking about the Musk effect. You have this incredibly charismatic leader, some people call it a reality distortion field. Because he's had these massive successes like with SpaceX, it creates this kind of genius halo around him. People just start to believe he can do anything, and they massively discount the chances of failure. Another huge piece of the puzzle is something investors call optionality. And it's a bit like this. You're not just buying a car company, you're buying a handful of lottery tickets. One ticket is for robotaxis, another is for AI, another for energy. You're paying a premium for the option, for the chance that Tesla might just hit the jackpot in one of these huge future industries. All right, so let's put all these clues together now, because when you do, they point to something incredibly powerful, a concept where belief itself starts to bend and shape the real world. And here it is, the big reveal. The sky-high valuation becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It creates this amazing feedback loop. So it starts with this collective belief, this powerful story, which creates the high stock price. Then that high price acts like a magnet, letting Tesla raise billions in cheap money and attract the smartest engineers on the planet. And that capital and talent then fuels actual real-world innovation, which in the end seems to prove the original story was right all along, and the whole cycle starts over even stronger. So when you boil it all down, what seems like an irrational belief in Tesla's future actually created the real-world conditions to make that future happen. The story wasn't just fluff. It was a resource-generating machine. The perception of success literally helped build the actual success. And that leaves us with a really fascinating, kind of provocative final thought. What if this isn't just a one-off thing for Tesla? What if this psychological loop is the new blueprint for how massive world-changing companies get built in the 21st century? Is having a powerful belief-driving story now the most important ingredient for innovation? Definitely something to think about.